My two items.
Mayor, this Lyft ride-sharing app program is supposed to start at Heights this week. LYFT.
I know what Lyft is.
Okay.
They, under our current ordinances, I don't believe that they can legally operate, so we will enforce our current ordinance, both all of the industry, and that includes Lyft and Uber, which is another company that uses an app contact. Understand that we are working on amending our ordinances. We have distributed to council a document laying out what the issues are. We will address these issues in a systematic and professional manner, and we're not going to be rushed. And they start operating, we'll try to shut them down.
And they claim that they're not violating because they don't charge fares, just donations. Is that just a point?
You know, there's some working girls that work the streets of Houston that say, oh, well, we're legal because it's just a donation. I'm sorry. We will enforce our ordinances.
Mayor, what are your thoughts on some HPD homicide detectives now under investigation themselves?
It's unfortunate whenever any city employee fails to adequately do their job, but there is an ongoing IAD investigation in the police department, so I can't really comment until they get to the end of their investigation process.
I respect that, but one follow-up. The prospect of a homicide occurring and it not being worked up properly, what does that do for the public trust, faith, and confidence in the police department?
It destroys it. There's no other nice way to say that. Now, I don't know that that's what happened, and we won't know that that's what happened until they get to the end of their investigation. But it's broader than that, because a homicide investigator, that's the elite of the police department. Those are the guys who have risen up out of the pack, who have proven themselves, we hope, competent and capable of taking on the most important job that the police department does, and that's investigate the taking of human life. And so if it is true that there have been problems and failure to investigate, it'll have shockwaves throughout the department.
It gives you cause for concern, albeit early on in this investigation.
Any department or any area of the police department where there would be evidence that they failed to do the job that they were assigned to do would cause concern. Obviously, if it's the homicide division, that would be a greater level of anxiety and concern.
Mayor, how does the forthcoming update to the fair housing analysis for impediments fit into the improvement efforts alongside HUD?
One of the things that I did a few years ago, and I don't know exactly when I don't know the exact date, was say that the housing department of the city of Houston was not where it should be, hadn't been where it should be for decades, and we were going to fix it on my watch. One of the things that I did was ask for technical assistance to come in from HUD and sit beside us, show us what we could do to improve our processes. I also focused on improving the relationship with HUD that had been in shambles for some time. I think you will find, if you talk to the local HUD office, that we have an excellent working relationship, and if you talk to the national HUD, we are becoming one of the poster child for some of the work that we are doing in cooperation with HUD, particularly in terms of, particularly in terms of our initiatives on homelessness. Every time there is an effort like this analysis of impediments to affirmatively furthering fair housing, it's an opportunity for us to work with HUD and take stock of what we're doing. What is different today than before I came in I think Mr. Ratcliffe is doing an excellent job, is that we don't view HUD as an impediment. We don't view them as someone who is out to get us. We view them as both a partner and as the agency that provides the dollars that allows us to do what we need to do. And so we work very hard to make sure that we are following the rules, but also work with them for the flexibility we need to do the kind of innovative projects we're doing. We're putting more money into affordable housing. We're doing a better job with dollars than we ever have before, and our relationship is such that we don't believe that we're going to have any more of those unfortunate surprises that have occurred in previous administrations where large amounts of dollars have to be repaid.
Can you speak specifically to the role of the fair housing analysis of impediments? What will that play in these reform efforts?
I can't go down in the weeds with you. You're going to have to talk to my housing department. That's why I have a housing department.
Is it one of your final term priorities to take the city to enforcing fair housing, which was one of the recommendations we had?
My big priorities, one, is to end chronic homelessness in Houston by 2016. And we are focused on that. Not to end all homelessness, but to end chronic homelessness. And we started with veterans homelessness. And again, we're receiving national recognition for what we're doing. So ending chronic homelessness. Targeting disaster recovery funds to stimulate revitalization in areas. Instead of taking those disaster recovery funds, spreading them all over the city, we work closely with stakeholder groups and with HUD to use those disaster recovery dollars, which have been slow in coming, not our delay, but slow in coming, to catalyze other types of development in target neighborhoods. And I'm excited about that. And then we are seeking to obtain authority from HUD to directly enforce fair housing laws. That's part of my broader focus on bringing to council an ordinance for a human rights commission for Houston to cover contracting, to cover public accommodations, and to cover housing. And in order for us to be able to enforce that locally, we have to have this qualification.
Mayor,
Jim,
today we were talking.
Because she's going to have to go, Tony. Jim, you've already had some questions.
Hey, how are you?
Okay.
I wanted to ask, the fire department is seeking to pay out large amounts, millions of dollars a year, termination of pay for unused vacation, holiday and sick leave. I believe the latest figure for 2013 was $10 million, $10.7 million. The last 6 years, it's nearly $60 million. What is the implications of that for budgeting for future departures, since we know there's a large number of firefighters that are at or past retirement or eligible?
Well, we may not be able to get real data on our pension liabilities from the pension, from the fire department. And within our HR system, we know exactly what our liabilities are in terms of unused vacation and sick days. And we're going to pay it. This is an obligation and an agreement that was made, and we're going to keep it. Now, clearly, it is a budgetary strain. Our fire department has gradually edging up in age over the years. We have a lot of firefighters who are eligible to retire. And when they go out, their roll-up pay is a significant liability, but it is one that we are aware of and we track. One of the ways to address it, in fact, the only way to address it, is through the contract negotiation process. You do some form of use it or lose it, or you limit the amount of unused vacation or sick days that can be rolled up. That's generally what's done in the private sector. But you have to be careful how you implement that, because then the firefighters would go out as they have every right to do, and then they use it, and you end up with the other side of that coin is that you have to backfill with overtime. So it's a complicated situation, but not one that we're not unaware of.
The city of, when talking to some folks, who said one of the dangers of this is there are so many that if they all decided for whatever reason, I don't know what the trigger or mass exodus, would the city, wouldn't that be a pretty big paycheck to the city?
Sure.
What would be the?
Well, we'd have to pay it. We have a legal obligation under our contracts with them. And we have never, ever implied that we would not meet all of our contracted obligations.
Mike,
But
How much
it's
would
a
it be?
huge number.
Mike's
much
the
would it
last
be?
question.
I don't know, I can get that information.
Mayor, we talked to
So Mike's the last question, she's going.
I'm curious, you know, the fire department's gonna come to the budget committee tomorrow, to talk about, the overtime, how we react to that. Do you have a preference when you talk about the items on the table that will go before?
My
council?
preference is that the fire department manage their own budget. And this is a conversation I've had consistently with my department directors, in that once the budget is passed, they have an opportunity to present their budget. Once the budget is passed, they need to live within their means in order to meet the requirement that council passed that we not roll any unexpected revenues into this year's budget, that we save any unexpected revenues for next year. In order to maintain a balanced budget, I would have to take money from some other department to plug the hole in fire. I'm not inclined to do that, and so I have instructed the fire department to figure out an operations plan that takes care of that within our budget.
What are the implications of that?
Well, you will see that when the presentation is made tomorrow morning. I'm not going to tell you today. Be patient.
No, that's not my job.